Hey Truth Seekers, it's Nathaniel, and in this Strat Series video, today we'll be covering the support cards for Hope. And today we have Levi, Sadie, and Link. These are our current Truth Seekers after the Fearless set. Levi has the ability that says you may place up to 2 power cards from your hand into your power pool per turn. Sadie says once per turn you may search your deck for one level 1 Animo, excluding Ultra, and place into your small group. Link has the ability that says, after your draw phase, if you have no power cards in your hand, you may reveal your hand and search for your deck for one standard power card. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So, Hope has these themes of shuffling cards back in your deck, drawing cards, and searching for cards. So, Hope has a lot of really good consistency. So, let's see how that plays out in these Animo. Alright, start off with our power card searchers. We have Schwimmer level 1. We have Oinkum level 2. And we have Quillo level 2. Alrighty. So, Quill level 2 has the action. Search your deck for any one story card and one power card. Reveal them, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. Schwimmer has the action. Says search your deck for one standard power card and place it directly in your power pool. Oinkum level 2 has the action that says search your deck for up to 2 power cards and place them directly in your power pool. So all of these cards search for power cards. As an addition, we have Akinleo. Akinleo has the action that you may search your deck for any Faith, Hope, or Holy Spirit power and place in your power pool. Because it searches for Hope power cards, I added them to this stack. Next up, we have Aurora. Aurora has the ability that allows it, while it's in the small group, to provide a Hope power card you can't activate in the same turn. You use that ability. However, we have Prayer Gwyn, who does much of the same thing, except he can also do it for Faith and Love. Then we have our Converter. Conqueror Ultra has the ability that says as long as cards in your small group, any Hope return cost on Animo in your small group may be treated as normal Hope cost. So you don't have to shuffle the Hope cards back into your back into your deck. Now, we have Aquilion Ultra and Mercifier Ultra. They both have Hope in their cost, which is why they are part of this stack. They have the ability that says as long as this card's in your small group, you may remove one universal cost from your other Animo. It's pretty good. Next up, we have Tortosaur and Professor. So, they both shuffle power cards back when they're activated, but this one has the action you may search your deck for any level 1 Animo and place it directly in your small group. You can grab an Ultra with this, folks. This is Professor. He shuffles 2 power cards back and has the action. Search your deck for up to 2 level 1 Animo excluding Ultra and place them into your small group. Alongside their themes of putting Animo into the small group is Strider level 2 with the action search your deck for any level 1 Faith, Hope, or Love Animo excluding Ultra and place them directly into your small group. Shuffle afterwards. He searches for Hope Animo, which is why he's part of this deck. He also is thematically nice with these two who put Animo into the small group. Then Animo that add cards to your hand. We have Guppies level 1 who when he's played in your small group you search your deck for any level 1 Faith or Hope Animo. And Lily, which you search your deck for a Faith, Hope, or Love Animo and place it in your hand. As an honorable mention, we have Agapesaur, who has the ability that once per turn, you may discard a Faith or Hope Animo from your small group. If you do, search your deck for one Love Animo, which this one's here because Hope supports it, finding Love Animo, and it doesn't support Love. That's why I say it's an honorable mention. Next up, we have Hopper, our neglected squeaky toy of a frog. His action says, search your deck for any 2 Animo with a VP score of 8 or less and place them in your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Hopper's actually really excellent. He just costs 3 for 4 Virtue Point power. I know he searches for any 2 Animo and places them in your hand, but He's so limited and he's so expensive for such little reward. We rarely use him, but he is an option. We much rather use something like Percy, who searches our deck for any 2 cards and places them in your hand for the same cost, and he gets 10 Virtue Point power. But he is a level 2, which is our balancing feature. Then we have Conqueror level 2. He is a 2 for 12. He has the action that says, search your deck for any 4 cards and place them on top of your deck in any order. Speaking of placing cards on top of your deck in any order, we have Lamb Up. Lamb Up looks at the top 5 cards as an action and arranges them in any order you desire. We rarely use Lamb Up, although he is a decent option because he is a 7 for 3. We just choose, hey, you know what? I'm normally shuffling my deck during my score phase, so stacking my deck isn't necessarily the best option. Then we have Percy level 1, who says when this card is played from your hand in your small group, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, take one, and return the rest in any order. So, this card stacks your deck. This card stacks your deck. This card stacks your deck. This card searches your deck for 2. So you get a lot of options out of these. This one's basically a draw 1 card while stacking your deck. This one's just stacking your deck. This is stacking 4 cards, which basically means you decide what your next hand is. So, and this one just grabs you in 2 cards. There are certain times where I will choose this card over this card. And there are certain times I will choose this card over this card, just depending on what the deck demands. They're all really good, though. Next up, we have cards that shuffle cards back in your deck to draw cards. We have Socrow level 2. Hightail level 1. Dependeru level 1. And Socrow level 1. So, let me move these over here. So this Socrow has the ability, when he's played from your hand to grow Socrow level 1, you may shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw 5 cards. Hightail level 1 has the retreat ability, which says when this card's in your hand, you may choose to reveal it to your opponent. Shuffle it back in your deck. If you do, draw 3 cards. Dependeru has the ability that says once per turn, as long as this card's in your small group, you may choose to shuffle a card from your hand to your deck. If you do, draw 1 card. This Socrow has the ability that says once per turn, as long as this card's in your small group, you may shuffle any 1 card from your hand back in your deck. If you do, draw 1 card. This Socrow and this Dependeru have the same ability. And they are all options for you to get cards. Specifically these 2 I like because I like to use them to get cards back into my deck that I need to have in my deck. Because sometimes that's important for Hope. Next up is cards that draw you cards, and there's a lot. Conqueror level 1, when he's played from your hand into your small group, you draw a card. And this Animo may not be grown or activated on the same turn, which is added to your small group, because Conqueror likes taking a nap. We have Socrow level 1 from Red Letter Day. The ability is when this card's played from your hand to your small group, just draw a card. Glimmer level 2. When this card's played from your hand to grow Glimmer level 1, draw 2 cards. Then we have Daybeak. He says once per turn, as long as this card's in your small group, and you have no cards in hand, you may draw 3 cards. And then Percy Ultra, who has the ability that says once per turn, as long as this card's in your small group, you may draw 1 card. All these cards, when they get to your small group, you can just use them to draw cards, just for existing. Next up, we have 2 more Animo that draw cards, but these 2 cards say once per turn, you may draw a card for each Hope Animo in your small group. This one can also do it for Love and Holy Spirit. This one can do it for, Faith and Holy Spirit. This one can do it for Faith and Love. But they draw cards while you have Hope Animo in your small group. That's why they are part of this list. Finally, we have our Animo that work off of VP. This Infinifish is very interesting. He has the action when this card is to be discarded, you may choose to shuffle it back into your deck. If you do, gain 1 VP to your score. Overall, you could probably get the same value out of an Aurora, but Infinifish is interesting because he actually just keeps going back in your deck, so you don't really deck out with him. Or he helps you not deck out. Finally, we got the Socro level 2, who has the Harvest action. At the time this card is activated, it is worth 2 virtue points for each card in your hand, up to a total of 16 max. As you can see, Hope likes to draw a lot of cards, likes to search a lot of cards, likes to get a bunch of cards in hand. So this Socro is going to be very powerful and very beneficial. So, in the meantime, Truth Seekers, keep learning virtues and defeating Cinnies.